You win the Heisman as a freshman. You come back your sophomore year and you have some issues. We start the season off with, well, it's reported that Johnny Manziel signed 4,000 items and this and that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Johnny signed 4,000 items for free. So, Johnny, why put yourself in that situation where it could be allegedly?
I got a head on my shoulders, man. I'm smart enough to know what's going around me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the money fly around me.
Right.
Not like I'm not walking through that same bookstore watching those number 2 jerseys fly off the shelf.
Break me off.
Where am I cut? It's everywhere else for everybody else.
Yes.
I got $700 a month coming in on stipend. That ain't enough for me to do what I want to do.
You need 7 bands a month coming in, huh?
I need 70 bands.
70 bands? Come on.
7?
70?
How the hell am I travel to Miami with 7 bands? What are we doing with 7 bands here? I need 70.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, when Johnny Manziel, his Heisman Trophy season and the season after, the NIL is in existence. How much Johnny football get?
Probably $10 million a year. I could have done 5 on my own with the Instagram. I could have done $5 million a year on my own just through the people and connections I had on my phone.
Right.
That's what a lot of people don't understand is during this time and during this rise, and a lot of where my downfall probably came from is, I get on my phone and get on Twitter and be like, yo, Shannon Sharpe just followed me. Come on, James Harden, Drake, LeBron.
And you partying with them.
I'm a DM away from being Rockets courtside. I'll be there in an hour and a half. My access that I had to the world and people that I wanted to be around was limitless with just my cell phone in a house in College Station.
Had Johnny Manziel been a little bit more discreet, you probably still could have got that 10. But because IG and you posting it, you at Live and you at all these places with the star, they're like, man, ain't no way in hell no college athlete have that kind of access unless he getting broke off.
My family's rich.
Yeah, and so see, you play to it because you could use that, Johnny doing that. Man, Johnny wouldn't take no money, his family rich. Well, little did they know, Johnny ain't worth $50 million like being reported.
Correct. So, I wasn't discreet at that point in my life.
Not at all.
I wasn't calculated. I wasn't precise in how I was moving. I was 19 years old.
Right.
I don't know nothing about the real way of the world.
Right.
I don't know nothing about what happens in Miami.
Right.
I'm a young, naive kid out here trying to get a bag on my own.
Right.
I don't know nothing. And I can't tell my parents. I can't tell my coaches. I don't got nobody to bounce this information off of. This is the point where I start reclusing to myself, and big problem in my life, Shannon, has been I wake up every day for the last 10, 12 years and do exactly as I please and exactly as I want every single day. And as I'm moving forward in my life right now, I believe that as a man in life, to humble yourself and to be able to get to where you want to go, you have to do things that you don't want to do.
Right.
You have to do things that make you uncomfortable. You can't just wake up and go down this path of la-di-da, I'm going to do everything as I please in that moment of time. That's going to make you soft. That's going to make you got all these things that come with that, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. If you go out and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, if you go out and work hard for what you want, which isn't the most glorified way all the time, it's not fun to go work hard and put your time and your effort into something, especially something you may not really love truly deep down to your core. So, what I've learned in life is, make yourself uncomfortable. Do things that you don't want to do to help others. Be selfless. Mm-hmm. Find a way to give back more than just thinking about yourself. And I'm sitting here today saying at 19 years old, I was only about self. That first year as my Heisman year, there was a lot less of that. I had my camaraderie with the team. I was a leader. I was there for my dogs. And then as that shifts, I became a bad teammate. I became a bad role model. I became a bad example for what a Texas A&M University football player should be, and an ambassador for my school at that point in time. And I still to this day hold a lot of shame about things that I did from 19 to 27, 28 years old. Shame, Shannon. To where I couldn't sleep at night, to where I went into the LA and the Hollywood Hills and I hid from everybody except the TMZ cameras in the middle of the night. And that, for me, has taken a decade to come to terms with what happened in my life and what I did to myself. Because at the end of the day, I don't have anybody to blame but myself. My mom and dad didn't raise me to be that. And Coach Sumlin or Coach Kingsbury or any of those guys at Texas A&M didn't raise me to be that way. My teammates sure as hell didn't push me down that path of being there. So why did it happen? You know, those are the questions that have taken me a decade to find out what makes me who I am, and coming to terms and accepting who I am. The good, okay, great, that's awesome. That's unequivocally me. The bad, okay, let's find out and identify what that is and be better bit by bit, day by day, to ensure that what happened in the past ain't gonna happen again moving forward.
If Johnny Football persona had never been created, do you still go down that path?
Yeah, I do, without a doubt. From that day in Kerrville, you know, from getting to there and being that guy and like getting a rise out of it and getting notoriety and people coming around you. It's fame is
it's a drug, it's addictive.
Oh, it's a high. You chase the dragon of fame, man. You chase the dragon of clout. And it is very, very addictive. And It is a problem that I dealt with in my life. And if you would have asked me in 2014 or 15, I'd have been like, nah.
Right.
Because for a long time, I didn't see myself as the true level of fame of what I really was.
Who dimed you out for that autograph signing? Somebody dimed you out.
Somebody got stuck with a lot of merch, a lot of stuff that they couldn't sell. And then from there, they got stuck with maybe like $20,000 worth of product. And the compliance department was cracking down on any autographs that were on eBay and this and that. So they lost their avenue of how to get rid of their product.
Right.
And they got stuck. And the guy went to the University of Texas, was in Houston. He blew the whistle, and then it all started to crumble down. And it happened quick.
If you'd have had somebody behind the scenes working, because Texas A&M is, those boosters, they want what you gave them. You gave them a Heisman Trophy. You almost led them to a national, a national championship. If you'd have had somebody working behind the scenes to say, look, let's keep this kid happy. This is all it's going to take, because you mentioned your dad. You said, told Kevin Sumlin, you didn't know anything about this, for $3 million. That's a drop in the bucket, considering that you could have made 10. So I'd say, like, for $5 million, he'll stay. Won't ever say a word about this. And you say, Kevin Sumlin looked at him like, bro, we're going to keep this train rolling without Johnny.
I needed Cliff. I needed Kingsbury for that situation to go in a perfect way.
So you needed Cliff to be your offensive coordinator, because he left.
I needed Cliff to be my offensive coordinator, and I needed Cliff to be that role model in my life when I got too out of whack. Because that first year, my freshman redshirt, my Heisman year, I was skirting the lines a little bit. But every time I started to get here, he went,
pull you back.
Every time.
Focus.
And I looked him. From that day he came on that high school field to come look at me and tell me he couldn't offer me, I had a trust with him and a bond with him that I still have to this day. And when he left, fuck, it sucked.
I'm looking at this. They say they sold 45 million number 2 Texas A&M Adidas jersey.
Maybe 45 million in revenue. 45 million, a lot of jerseys.
Texas, well, okay, 45. And so if they'd have gave you, say, here, Johnny, we're going to give you 5%.
I'll take 10.
Damn, Johnny, 5% is more better than what you get.
You're right. Okay, 5.
But when you see Texas A&M making 45 million in jersey sales, and Johnny Manziel getting $700 in a stipend, that doesn't sit right with you, does it?
It didn't.
So you start concocting a way how you can get some of that pie.
Exactly. I got my pie.
But you knew that it was wrong. You knew that you could get yourself in trouble and potentially the university. But at that point in time, What?
Yes. I knew that it was against the rules. Okay. I know that I'm putting myself in a position that may not work out well for me or my university. But at that time, once again, going back to selfish Johnny Manziel, you know, I'm thinking about how to get that. How do I get that stipend bumped up? I'm thinking about the money at this point. Like, I don't expect myself, even after winning the Heisman Trophy, to be able to go get drafted. I didn't know if that was a sure thing to go to the NFL draft or be able to make any money. So I know what I needed then. I needed more money. And, you know, with that money that I got as well, you know, I took care of my dogs in the locker room. You know, in a big college locker room, there's dudes in there that sending half their stipend or all their stipend back home, and they're taking 6 to-go boxes out of the athletic facility. They go into the apartment and there's no lights on. You see, and this is what I see, people come from all different walks of life that walk into these locker rooms. Yes. They don't come from Kerrville, Texas, from the suburbs all the time. Yeah. They come from the trenches. Yes. And I bond with people that come from nothing. Me and Mike Evans like this. He's from Galveston, Texas, born on the island. It is no joke down there. Where he's from is a different way of life. And like, I've seen, because of the sport that I played, how all these people come in from different walks of life. And it's not as peachy as you think it may be. It's not all rainbows and butterflies out there for some of these kids that come in, and it's tough. And I took care of my dogs. Right. All this money didn't just go to me. A lot of it did. But if my boys needed something, they got it. And if I wasn't there, that tab at the club was
picked up.
Always.
Did your parents know you was getting this money?
Oh yeah.
Cause you breaking them off too, huh? You ain't. Hold on. How you ain't break mom and dad off?
Mom and dad are doing fine. Mom and dad are living at the biggest golf course in town. Dad's got his best job he's ever had.
Right.
What you want?
Did you help him get the job?
No. My dad's independent on his own to be able to go do that. I'm sure my name and what was going on, of course, might have helped it, but, you know, I was finding out, and it was like hard to just be like, what do you do with this cash? You know, I can't, how do you book a flight? How you gonna go somewhere? Like, what do you do with, how do you check into a hotel? How you do this? So it was like.
You ain't have any credit cards? You ain't get no credit cards, Johnny?
I ain't know nothing about a credit card until I got to Cleveland, Ohio. I know nothing. I would go buy American Express gift cards for $1,000 in cash and then have that. And then I got to keep track of how much is on every balance and stuff. And I'm going through Amex gift cards like this, going out of style.
Wow.
So I didn't know anything about a credit card. I didn't know anything about credit, nothing.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.